this all by himself. He thanked Sylphie for offering help but didn't seem inclined to ask for it. This was when Sylphie decided to show off her own skills. She told Alan that her tree magic could harvest crops and proceeded to demonstrate. Immediately, Sylphie summoned a tree filled with yams, shocking Alan like nothing else he had seen in this world.
I've got an enemy attack.
The process where he had just released marketing at the cheats.
Not yet. I'll look.
Had been hiding her powers for this time, while Sylphie, on the other hand,
The safe
that
area
he had
changes
known
in
about
30
her
seconds.
abilities from the
Be a good
beginning.
hero.
This was when it finally hit Alan that the slave girls, their powers must have been detailed in his appraisal screen. Unfortunately, he couldn't read that piece of paper at all, which had led to his current predicament. Alan considered telling the girls
This.
that he was essentially like a child who was
Dumbass. Burn.
He didn't bear the thought of admitting such a weakness. He felt that the girls already didn't think too highly of
Like that.
No issue. Everyone's in the safe area.
Keep it up.
Deciding that an awkward lot would be better than the humiliating truth, Alan quickly concocted a story. Striking a pose, he explained that magic was like a coin with two sides,
I'm heading
depending on the user.
Does anyone need these items? On second thought,
He claimed
never
that this
mind.
was why he had decided
Just
never to
nobody.
use magic. It had
Get on my
reduced their powers.
nerves.
It
Over
had
here.
He added that the thought of being able to do
That's
anything
all
he
you
wanted
got?
was a dangerous one. Serious issues. Of course, this was all a big fat lie. When he had bought the slaves, he had harbored all kinds of shady thoughts about what they could do. But a lack of cash had turned him into a laborer. I paid almost $2,000 in subscription to $1,000. So me and my wife, we found out we were paying for a kid for 2 years. Didn't even know we moved, so all that food was being sent to our home first. I know.
Watch out.
While looking through the app, we found 8 other subscriptions that we
I've rescued a civilian.
Unfortunately, we were able to cancel them right from the app, which ended up saving us. They were even able to get us a brief.
I'm
Realized we
fired
needed
up.
to search back to our spending better and pocket money was there to show us all our expenses. And even help us create a budget basically that's my favorite part was probably the fact that it was all we had to do was
Hey.
and it lowered our bill like 80%. I didn't even know that was possible. Find out how many subscriptions you're really paying.
Found some
Download
items.
our link today. Instead, nonetheless, he smiled and told the girls
I'm on
that
my
they
way.
should not
Sorry,
force
I take that. Found
themselves
some
to
items.
anything they imagine. Finding the situation too embarrassing to continue, he excused himself and
Level
walked
up.
away under the pretext of harvesting. Sylvie, meanwhile, began to think about her master in a different light.
All right.
Initially,
Everyone made
she
it to
had
the safe
believed that
area.
revealing her magic would expose his true colors, expecting him to demand more from her. But his response, though suspect, made her reconsider
level
her
up.
assumptions. However, Sylvie began to feel she had been wrong to assume anything about Alan. Despite the
Civilian
change in his
evacuee
expression,
rescued.
it seemed that
level
her
up.
magic had touched a deep ground in his heart. She thought that Alan was somebody innocent and profound. The way he spoke to her indicating a past trauma.
No
Sylvie
forgiveness.
convinced herself that her master had experienced a similar struggle to her own, having lost himself to his powers of restoration, which might have led to
I've rescued a civilian.
changed his
Civilian
outlook.
evacuee rescued.
This, she believed, was why he was reluctant to
Can
flaunt
anyone
his
use this?
abilities. Her reflections brought
Can
back
I take
memories
this?
when she used to flaunt her
Level up.
powers, a time she now felt ashamed of, determined to do something kind.
This battle's about to go.
Had asked for some time to discuss their future
All
with
right.
Alan. The very
Level
next
up.
day, Alan was astonished to find a
You've
whole
all been
collection
waiting
of
for.
fruits and
A
vegetables.
private box appeared.
To see so many plants grow overnight was clearly Sylvie's doing, effectively a cheat code for agriculture. Although this was far more efficient than toiling away for hours, Alan felt as if his thunder had been stolen. He had secretly hoped to become a master cultivator
Can
using
anyone
his
use
earth
this?
knowledge, but Sylvie's magic had
Can I
outshone
take
his
this?
efforts. Sylvie greeted him and explained that she had decided to harvest crops for him. When Alan asked
I
why
don't
she
have
used
enough
her magic,
items.
Sylvie made a cute face and asked if she had acted too hastily.
Level up.
I'm on
Even
my
if
way.
it was
Sorry,
a
I take that. Found some
Alan
items.
realized this was due
Found
to
some
what
items.
he had told the girls the previous day. He wondered if Sylvie
this.
was trying to find fault with him. Alan had hoped to leverage his knowledge
I'm
to
on my way.
become
Sorry,
unbeatable
I
in the
take that
fields of
back. Found some
agriculture,
items.
but now it seemed futile. Furthermore, he
I'll
feared
take
that
that.
the girls might view him even more unfavorably, as he couldn't manage to use their powers effectively, but still insisted on feeding them yams. This left him
Found
feeling
some
both embarrassed and defeated. Alan decides to regain his composure
Everyone's in
and
the
tells the
safe
girls they
area.
didn't need to go to
Good,
such
I'll take
lengths.
that.
Sylvie reassures him that it's fine. Then she and Noel decide to make breakfast, likely to show their gratitude and be nice to their master. Despite their kindness, Alan feels like he can't show off to them anymore. However, he decides to make one last attempt to impress them. He explains to the girls that he has one more thing to flaunt, his knowledge of making concrete, an item that doesn't yet exist in this world. He hopes this will improve their living conditions and
Level
earn
up.
some respect. The girls, curious,
Does
ask
anyone
what he
use
is
these
doing.
items?
Noel, who is usually reserved
I
and not
take
keen on talking, shows up and tells Alan she can smell him making something. She expresses interest in helping and learning the process. Alan is surprised by Noel's sudden willingness to talk and help. She asks her master what he wishes to make, and he explains his plan to construct a building with concrete so they don't have to keep camping. When Noel asks what concrete is, he first uses the term cement, but she is unfamiliar with that too. He then explains that to make concrete, they'll need limestone, clay, and quartz. Noel listens intently, and Alan is pleased to see how responsive she is to his teachings. As time passes, Alan successfully teaches Noel everything he knows about building a structure. He emphasizes that while he has shared his knowledge, practicing it is an entirely different matter. Noel assures him that she has grasped the concepts and now wants him to sit back and watch her work.
Never mind.
Noel proceeds to demonstrate her skills, using a spell called extraction to summon all the raw materials needed for creating cement.
level
Alan
up.
is astonished by her abilities, realizing that Noel possesses incredibly useful cheat skills. This revelation makes him feel
waiting for.
Level up.
And the box appears.
contributions will be overshadowed.
I take this?
Next, Noel uses another spell known as Pulverize, which further impresses Alan. He watches in awe as she utilizes her fire and cooling techniques, eventually creating a whole pile of cement
Be
right
careful.
before his eyes.
Enemies.
To complete the
All right.
construction process,
Everyone made it to the safe area.
enlists the help of Sylvie. This collaboration involves using bamboo shoots, an idea Alan had
Level
suggested
up.
with great pride, though now he feels his involvement is unnecessary.
Alright.
On the positive side,
Level up.
Alan notices that the girls have started to communicate more frequently with each other, forming a stronger bond. However, this also leads him to worry that
Level
his
up.
slave girls might find him useless if they continue to work well together. He fears they might build their own empire without needing him at all. Now that the house is built and ready for inspection, Alan is left speechless. Noel uses her art and skill to ensure the security of the house, showcasing her mastery in building. Sylvie, on the other hand, fills the bamboo sticks with mana to strengthen them, proving herself to be a mistress of the land. Both girls have demonstrated their overall powers, leaving Alan in awe and somewhat disheartened. Alan hopes to be the one impressing the girls, but instead, he feels as if they are taunting him by inviting him inside the house. He despised his lack of achieved skills, yearning to be strong and flirt with cute babes. With the powers these slave girls possess, Alan worries about his future and his role in this world. Meanwhile, high up in heaven, the goddess is watching all the fun unfold to her goddess tablet. She comments that ever since Alan brought Sylvie and Noel, he is destined to be worshipped almost like a demon king. However, she foresees that later in his life, he will be considered a threat by the hero of this world, leading him to a life full of ups and downs. The goddess finds Alan's predicament entertaining and decides she will make fun of him as many times as she can. She then corrects herself, saying she actually meant to check up on him as many times as she can.
Turn to ash. More power. I'll light you up.
Some teammates have invaded to the safe area.
I'll light you up.
It's not your fault. We're just playing on different levels.
Mercy. So naive. Turn to ash. Can you dodge this? Don't try anything. Seriously? You can't hurt me.
What?
What? What?
It's what you've all been
Recently,
waiting for.
Rose
And
Morgan
the
Sticks
box
had started
appears.
to act up ever since she heard from the master Alan
To save you.
told her about
You got
cement
me?
and concrete. It was her first time experiencing such things, and she was genuinely surprised that Alan's advice turned out to be true. She followed his instructions and achieved exactly what she had hoped. This confirmed to her that Alan was not just
No
any friendly
sweat.
person who happened to buy her and Sylvie. His restoration power was impressive, and the fact that he chose not to flaunt it made it even more. However, what stood out the most to him was Alan's accuracy despite his vast knowledge. He wasn't afraid to share this information, which made him a true catch in her eyes. The ability to teach an elder group such useful skills will other immense happiness. Sylvie had also vouched around, assuring Noel that they could trust him. This endorsement solidified Noel's decision to hold the same opinion. Noel decided that she, too, wanted to help alleviate her master's burden.
Looking forward to it.
She admired Alan's generosity and was determined to prove so as a valuable asset. Alan takes a nap, but when he wakes up, he is startled to see two more buildings. He can't fathom how this was accomplished so quickly. When Noel shows up, he realizes Noel stepped in her shoes. She explains that she built 3 buildings so that each of them can have one to themselves. The calmness with which the poor girl says such a thing is not normal to our hero. Noel steps closer to Alan, causing him to panic because he doesn't want his intrusive thoughts to take over again. She reiterates that she has built these houses for Sylvie, Alan, and herself. But Alan can only think about how uncomfortably close Noel is to him. The poor girl then says that since she has worked hard, she would like her master to raise her up. Alan is taken aback by this request. Then, Sylvie shows up from behind and asks him to praise Noel as well. Alan is surprised to see his slave giving him an order. And that's when he figures that the girls must be trying to gang up on him. He feels that the slave girls are attempting to use him for their own work instead of the other way around. He imagines a scenario where Sylvie and Noel mock him for having nothing to boast about apart from his restoration skill. He realizes he has no money, no talent, and is rather incompetent. They had further insulted Idri by calling him a skinny nerd with no experience. Suddenly, the goddess joins the girls in a mockery of Alan. In Alan's imagination, she joins in, further roasting him. He believes the girls were so worried about his intrusive thoughts that they decided to build extra houses to stay away from him. Alan imagines this shameless man wants to do shady things to them. His thoughts spiral out of control until Sylvie asks
expect
him
more
everything
next time.
snapping him back to reality. Realizing he has let his imagination run wild,
You talking
Alan
about
quickly
me?
plays off whatever
I'm
was
not
going on
mad.
in his head. He has come this far.